Check 1 2. It's Saturday night. Got about 4.5 more minutes before we welcome Kurt Schmidt and our version of Pass the Mic. We call it Listener's Choice. I'm Don Allen. I told you I'd stick my head in tonight. In the meantime, let's take a journey into the end of the world. Welcome to Saturday night at WJZDRadioDetroit.com. We're going to have a good time tonight. I know it's been a rough week. It's been a rough week for me as well. You just don't know. Joyce Lynn, what's going on? You like the vibe we're laying out? You are going to love what we're about to do, Joyce Lynn. See, we've started a new promotion. For those of you who don't know, we call it Pass the Mic, our version. It is our version of Pass the Mic, shall I say. We call it Listener's Choice, and you are the DJ. Gordon Adams, Janae, what's going on? What's happening, baby? It's been a wonderful, quiet day here. And baby was just asleep. She slept most of the day, and well-deserved. Evening, Janae. Everybody, before we get started, I've got 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Get yourself a glass of wine. Get yourself a bottle of beer, a libation, if you will. Because I'm going to tell you guys something. Kurt Schmidt is about to take you to the moon. What up, Delmar? What's happening, baby? But in the meantime, 2 minutes, 49 seconds before we begin, our version of Pass the Mic, we call it Listener's Choice. And after that, at 9 o'clock, we're going to do a tribute to Roy Ayers. And then after that, Gene Edwards is going to come on, and he's going to do a tribute to Roy Ayers. It's going to be an amazing night of great music. What's going on? Listening? You driving? That's all right. Just listen, because it's going to be a vibe that you'll never forget. Are you guys ready? Got about 2 more minutes. Then we're going to let Kurt take care of it. Now, I'm going to be here, and I'm going to speak a little on the record. I'm going to let Kurt do his thing. It's going to be an amazing night of great music. Because we've all had such a tough week. You wish you had slept most of the day. You've been braiding your hair all day, and you're still going? Well, that's all right. Pour yourself a glass of something nice, little sis. Alvin. And how are you this fine Saturday evening, sir? Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into anything, you guys got to give some love, mad love to my man Alvin. He coordinates every single person that performs, and it's a performance, every single one of the our listeners, family, who gets on and jumps into Pass the Mic. Alvin coordinates it all. All I do is put it together and put it in the system. Without Alvin, this doesn't work. So you guys got to show Alvin some amazing love. You know, just give Alvin, you know, a peace sign, or what, my man Alvin, give him some love. 44 seconds. We play music that you can't hear anywhere else. Stick around, 30 seconds to go. Kurt Schmidt takes the mic and rolls out the music on the decks. Our version of Pass the Mic. We call it Listener's Choice. Welcome to a wonderful Saturday night in Detroit and the surrounding areas around the world. We are WJZD Radio. Let's have the ID and let's get down to business. It's music that you can't hear anywhere else. We're right here. WJZDRadioDetroit.com.
You've heard, now listen. WJZD Radio Detroit.com.
WJZDRadioDetroit.com. Welcome to Listener's Choice, where you are the DJ. Let's get started.
You're tuned to Listener's Choice on WJZD Radio Detroit. I'm Kurt Schmidt, and I'll be your host this week. And for the next hour, I'll be sharing some of my favorites. You'll hear music that may have you wanting to jump and jive around the living room, while others you may find more contemplative and even romantic. But they're all so fascinating. Well, I began my musical development with classical training on piano and then trumpet. Once I heard these first four artists, I had a keen interest in pursuing jazz and funk. We'll start with my very first album purchase back in 1971, which featured this tune by Billy Preston called Outta Space.
Now, this is the way you come on WJZD Radio. Do you remember this? I remember when Billy Preston did this on Soul Train. He had that big afro. I think I had one too. That's the way you do it, Kurt. I'm not going to talk all night, but y'all going to check Kurt out because this man is amazing. Kicking it off with Outer Space, WJZD Radio. Now, I got to say this. While you guys were just watching me clown, I was looking at our map, our coverage map. All over the United States, the numbers are just skyrocketing right now. They are loving what Kurt is doing, and your turn is up next. What we need you to do, go to WJZDradio@gmail.com and say, hey, Don, I want to get on the show. How do I do it? I'm going to connect you with Alvin, and Alvin's going to help you put your show together. So just do it now. Just write it down. WJZDradio@gmail.com and say, hey, Don, I want to be on Listener's Choice. And we're going to make it happen. Hey, Joyce Slim, what's going on? Rico. Rico Suave. Pretty Rick is what they call him. Come on out. Kurt, let's do it. What's up, J Firm? Heard from DJ Coltrane today. And I'm going to see it between me and you, Jay. We got to get Coltrane to do this. Because I know you're getting your show set up, right? J Firm, you got to do yours. We're going to pass the mic all around the world. Yep, that's right, all around the world. Everybody's going to be a star on WJZD because you really are. We waiting on your show coming up soon, J Firm. I told you guys that Kurt was bringing the fire. Vicky Howard Terry, what's going on, sis? And it's your turn coming up, too. You heard that, Vicky? And Joycelyn, Alvin said, give him a shout, and we'll knock it out. Right now, you're listening to the musical stylings, Kurt Schmidt. And Dr. G, you can do it too. I just saw you pop in. Dr. G, send us a show in for us. We'll pass the mic on WJZD Radio. We call it Listener's Choice. Musical styling, all put together by Kurt Schmidt. And you're going to hear him speak in just a few seconds. I'm your man, Don Allen, reminding you that your turn is coming up next. Send us an email and say, hey, Don, I want to be on Listener's Choice. Just send it to wjzdradio@gmail.com, and we will get it all together for you. I'm going to put you in touch with Alvin, and he is the musical maestro that makes it all happen. So, J Firm, you're coming up. Joycelyn, Vicky Howard Terry, Dr. G, you can record your own. And Dawn and I actually started on hers today. And you know baby girl gonna bring it. Here we go. Saturday nights, we call it Listener's Choice. It is our version.
Baby, what kind of world
Pass the mic.
be? What I find a moment of
Tonight, you're listening to the musical stylings of
can't imagine my
Kurt Schmidt.
life with no you. All the battles I
You like that one section, Joycelyn?
You're the
Don't ask me, ask Kurt.
afraid. 'Cause at the end of the day, I find my refuge. When I'm with you, a million miles away. Every time we touch, baby,
Now, don't forget,
takes me.
at 9 o'clock, we're going to do a tribute to Roy Ayers. 9 o'clock, I'm doing one. At 10 o'clock, Gene Edwards is going to do one.
Another time and place.
We've got a Saturday night that you will not ever forget.
You take me a million miles away. I travel so far and so fast. Whenever you kiss me like that.
Got to say hello to everybody checking us out. Who's that in Idaho checking us out tonight? San Francisco's checking in. Kansas City,
Going
Atlanta,
I don't care.
Toronto. Let me zoom in. Let me see what that is.
Just take my hand and I'll follow. Let's go.
And we've even got listeners tonight down in the Bahamas.
With you.
Thank you so much for checking in. Welcome to WJZD Radio.
Touch, baby, it takes me a million miles away.
say hello to everybody in Columbus checking us out. Somebody in Washington, D.C., also in Delaware tonight checking us out. Thank you so much.
I belong, and nothing is impossible when you take me. So baby, take me. Every time we touch, baby, it takes me miles away. From the heartache to another place. When you take me,
Now, there's somebody in Holland, Michigan checking us out. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, that is Beth Griffin family.
when you kiss me, you're
Detroit's
taking
own.
me, you're taking me.
As a matter of fact, I forgot to tell you guys, Kurt has an affinity and a real deep love for all things Detroit music, especially as it pertains to jazz, as do I. So you're going to hear a lot of Detroit artists this hour.
Miles away, where I wanna stay, a million.
E. Van Knox, what's going on, baby? Welcome to WJZD Radio. We call it Listener's Choice. It's our version of Pass the Mic. Tonight we've handed the mic to Kurt Schmidt. Your turn's coming up. Hit us up at WJZDradio@gmail.com. Good evening. Shout out to everybody checking us out on YouTube tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Did you pour yourself something nice to drink? I've got a nice Cabernet blend that we picked up at Boulder City Wine last night. Auspicion is what it's called. It's very, very nice. It's got a nice drag off the side of the glass, too. Saturday night in the Motor City. Good evening to you wherever you are. GB, what's going on? Greg Beasley with us tonight. And Angie is checking us out in Villarica, Georgia. Thank you so much for checking in. For those of you just checking in, what you're listening to is our version of Pass the Mic. We call it Listener's Choice. And yeah, you can get in on it too. Just hit us up at WJZDradio@gmail.com and say, hey, this is Bob or this is Angie. How do I get on? And we will get back in touch with you. We'll have Alvin reach out to you. He's our coordinator and he will put it together for you. Sends it to me. I put it in the system. And tonight, you can be a star. Your chance is coming up whenever you reach out to us. WJZDradio@gmail.com. Hey, Jan, what's going on? From Birmingham, Alabama, Sylvia L. checking us out. I'm telling you, is Kurt's playlist fire or what? Rhonda Beatty, what's going on, baby? We're going to try to make it tonight. I'm not going to guarantee it. I didn't even know Bert was having a party tonight. But you know how my bride is in there. She will say, hey, let's go. Don't you just love spell check, Rhonda? Shout out to Vince and Carol, Corey and Carol, Ray and Shameller. Lucky Chucky, what's going on, baby? We do this each and every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Now, for those of you who just joined us, stay with us at 9 o'clock. We've got a special tribute. Our artist in residence tonight will be Roy Ayers. I will be doing a special all-hour commercial-free set of Roy Ayers, followed by Gene Edwards, who will also do a tribute to Roy Ayers. You know Kurt wouldn't know what to do, Sylvia. I thank you, Kurt. And thank you too, Chucky.
The station everyone's radio stays on. WJZD Radio Detroit.
That's right. Cynthia, good evening. The DMV is, I told you that this morning. Kurt was bringing the fire tonight. Let's just sit back and chill. Do what you do, Kurt. You see the glasses right here. Now, see, I don't know about you guys. And if you had a wonderful week, praise the Lord. And if you had a bad week, you got to praise Him anyway. Because you're still here. You opened your eyes to this day. I had a rough week, and I'm not ashamed to say it. But I pulled myself through with the thanks to my Lord and Savior, my fiance, and the sheer thought of knowing that you guys would be here during this show, during Kurt's show with me. Hey, Gil, what's going on? It was a rough one today, this week. All week, it has been totally rough. But I'm ever the optimist, and I pray that you are as well. Because I opened my eyes before my feet hit the floor. I thank my Lord and Savior. And before I close my eyes, Dawn and I do the same thing. We got to give Him praise through it all. Tough times don't last. The very best in music, played by Kurt Schmidt. We call it Listener's Choice, our version of Pass the Mic. If you'd like to get in on it, all you got to do is reach out, wjzdradio@gmail.com. Say, hey, Don, Alvin, I'd like to be on the show. Can you help me out? And we will get in touch with you. I'm loving this. Now you see this door wall behind me? If this were July or June, that would be open and I would be closer to that door smoking a cigar with this playing in the background. I'd be out on the balcony. Jesse Land. It is so very cool. Your turn is coming up, Jesse Land. We want you to be a star. You don't have to have the music. We'll get in touch with you and just tell us what your musical vibe is. We will put together a musical selection that represents you well. And you'll get to okay every single detail of the hour that you will be performing. A lot of people say, Don, I could never do what you do, and I don't have the time to do it. But once you do it, Everyone so far has had a ball putting it together. We want you to have fun with us and play some great jazz while we're doing it. Reach out, WJZDradio@gmail.com. Your turn is up next. I'd like to take a moment out and say good evening, everybody who was just joining us from Kentucky and in Winnipeg. So glad you could join us tonight. Wherever you are this evening, thank you for joining us. Good Saturday evening to all of our listeners in South Africa this evening. Thank you for joining us as well. If you're over in Germany checking us out, Sweden. Did you hear me do my Swedish accent? You're listening to Sweden. And wherever else you may be on this beautiful blue marble we call Earth. Thank you for joining us. Kirk Major, good evening. Welcome to the Rise and Grind. Well, it's not the Rise and Grind. This is Listener's Choice. Kirk, would you like to be a radio announcer for a night? Reach out to us. We're going to make this happen. Tonight, you're listening to the musical stylings of Kurt Schmidt. Kirk Major, I know you want to do it too, so hit us up at WJZDradio@gmail.com, as well as Joyce Lynn down in the ATL. Thank you. No, it's not Joyce Lynn, it's Jessie Lynn. Jessie Lynn Butler Taylor. Good evening. And a lot of people are saying, like, how do you know where we're at? I've got software that's showing me a map of the United States, actually the world, and I can zoom in and find out exactly what city you're calling me from. In certain cases, I can actually go down to the street name. Other situations, not so much. Depending where my satellites are. This is Pass the Mic, our version of Pass the Mic anyway. We call it the Listener's Choice. So Jessie Lynn, are you going to be next? Are you going to reach out and say, hey, I want to be on that show. I want to hear my voice around the world. I want to play my favorite jazz. Sylvia, what's going on? Kurt is throwing down tonight. Now, I know Kurt's listening somewhere, and he doesn't want to say anything. Come on, Jessie Lynn, you can do this. WJZDradio@gmail.com, and we'll get you started. Reese. Oh, my God, is that far from Turtle? Is that Bob James? Gary Hunter. Pastor Gary. Yes. Bob James. Far from Turtle. Alvin says, Thanks, Don and Kurt, for providing the stress zone. Cynthia says, hi, Sylvia and Reese. Smoke Jones. You're listening to the musical stylings of my man, Kurt Schmidt. Inside Listener's Choice. Smoke Jones is going to be doing it very soon as well. And ladies and gentlemen, don't get it twisted. You can play any music you want, just no rap. And you can say whatever you want to say. You just have 4 talkover segments, and we will put it right over the music for you. Gary wants everybody to know, don't forget Jubilee, Bloody Sunday, Salem, Alabama. Tomorrow, Congressman John Lewis in Selma, Alabama. The No Stress Zone. That's what we're providing for you tonight. Aren't you just, is everyone loving Kurt's list tonight? His playlist is to the moon. It's fire. Gene Edwards is checking us out. Be sure and check out Gene tonight at 10 p.m. He has a special tribute to Roy Ayers. It's going to be a wonderful night of great music all night tonight. Gene, how are you? I see you're watching. Everybody's loving you, Kurt. Jesse Lynn, Butler Taylor, your turn is up next. We want to hear from you. Jan Ham. Everybody said, Kurt is the man. C Jazz. You're getting some Kleenex for Kurt's special dedication. he just makes it sound so effortless. And since he's not saying a whole lot, that's why I'm talking. Yes, that's a piano. This is a very old song from Bob James. It's called Far From Turtle. I think Kurt's going to say something up next. We are WJZDRadioDetroit.com. Carla Pace. Carla. This is a very special show, Carla. We call it Listener's Choice, where we allow the listeners to actually be on the air and play the music. And I want you to do a show, Carla. I'm going to call you. I'm going to call you, and I want you to do a show. Right now, tonight, we're listening to Kurt Schmidt. And so far, we are booked into the end of the month from listeners who actually have already pre-recorded their shows. Oh, C Jazz and more. You want to do a show too? Tell you what, if you want to do a show, hit me up on my email, wjzdradio@gmail, and say, hey, Don, I want to do a show. I'll put you in touch with Alvin, and we will make it happen. Me and Alvin have been turning them out. It's been a wonderful Saturday night thus far. We've got a lot of music to go. We are just halfway through, Kurtz. Are you in, Carla? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, Carla Pace is now going to be doing an hour on Past the Mic, a.k.a. Listener's Choice. It's about to go down. Yeah, and you can play your own music, Carla. We don't care. Saturday night's the way you like it. Incidentally, I want to thank you guys for those kind words while I was sick. As you can hear, my voice is starting to come back. Everybody pour a glass of something nice. I've got this wonderful Cabernet. And if Dawn doesn't come out, she won't get any. Which is deep because she bought the bottle. I told y'all Kurt was coming hard tonight. Denise Walters, good evening. We had to change the group because it looked like a few of y'all was getting sleepy. So Kurt just decided he was going to turn it up a little bit. Are you not drinking tonight? You got your water? That's good because I'm almost through with this bottle. This is Listener's Choice. We call it, that's what we call it, our version of Pass the Mic. So far, we've had some amazing announcers from all over the place. We've had Delmar Blanks. We've had Janae. We've had Alvin. Who else have we had, Alvin? We've had a few other guys, I'm sure. And we're booked solid until the end of the month. Carla Pace is going to do one. Smoke Jones is going to do one. Corey's going to do one. Y'all know when I get Dawn's ready, I'm just going to just interrupt everybody else and put my baby in there, okay? Ooh, Brian O'Neill. Denise Walters, good evening. You're drinking your Pinot Grigio? Now, I got a question for Carla Pace. Carla, where are you performing at? Because I haven't seen you on stage in a minute. I did understand you were doing something, but I was busy that same night, so. I would love the privilege of bringing Carla Pace on stage. I've done everybody else. Go, Kurt.
Something to work with, yeah.
Now, I just got word. Dawn just told me that Kurt just joined us on YouTube. Kurt, you are driving these people crazy. Phyllis Bedford, good evening. From the DMV, what's going on, baby? Now, hey. Phyllis, I need you. And Rick Wilhite is with us. Oh my God. We have struck DJ royalty tonight. Rick Wilhite with us this evening. Tonight, we have a show called Listener's Choice. It is our version of Pass the Mic. It is a situation where, Rick, if you want to do a show, just reach out to me at wjzdradio@gmail.com. Say, hey, Don, how I get on. I will put you in touch with our coordinator. Play whatever you want. Say whatever you want, as long as there's no rap. Saturday, March 15th, Carla Pace is going to be at Miss Eva's on Grand River, an acoustic strip show. What? Including original music. So for those of you who are in Detroit, on March 15th, Saturday night, we all going to crash over at Miss Eva's, okay? And if I get there early, I'm bringing Carla on. I got to go get me a new suit. Oh, yeah, Carla. You got new music coming? If you got CDs, yeah, we got to talk. Because WJZD, for all of my singers, all my musicians, we are going to start doing listening parties over at the Griot. You don't have to do numbers. Show up with your music, your merch, and we're going to listen to you all night, okay? And I will be hosting the show, and you just go out and meet people and sell your stuff and make your money. How's that? That's how we're doing it this summer in the Motor City. Ivy Hunter, good evening. Mellow Mike. Oh, I'm waiting on that Boney James, bro. Oh, you have new music? Okay, consider it done. We're going to put you on. We might even have, we've got Lynn Roundtree slated to possibly kick this thing off.
This is Listener's Choice on WJZD Radio Detroit. These next 4 tunes are dedicated to all the pandemic friends I developed while we were stuck at home back in 2020 and 2021. Many of us met in the chat watching Facebook Lives or YouTube online events held weekly by Cecil Ramirez, JJ San Savarino, Rick Braun, Adam Hawley, and 3 times a week by Brian Culbertson. When we started meeting in person, it was exhilarating. Now Roger and I go to shows together all the time. But Terry, Sylvia, Linda, Ella, Stephanie, and so many more, thank you for being there during those days and still today. Marcus Anderson's dedication for Edgar is in this set too. Edgar was a hardworking friend and a huge supporter of contemporary jazz musicians that we lost too soon.
That was my man Kurt. And Kurt is actually listening via YouTube. See Jazz and more. Denise Walters, hey. Denise said, yes, we did, Kurt. Lots of us on this chat met her that way. Sylvia. See, jazz is a wonderful community, a fabulous community, and all we're trying to do here on WJZD Radio is bring all of us together. I don't care what continent you're on. I don't care what city you're in. We can come to you, okay? If you're in L.A., we coming. If we're down in Florida, we're coming. You're in the ATL, we've been there, but we're coming back. Come on to Detroit this summer because we are jazz all over the city at WJZD as always, everywhere the jazz is. If you need us to come, we'll host a show. We will stream live from your event. And I'm bringing Kurt with me. We're going to put Kurt to work, you know. Ava. Rest in paradise, Edgar. But you guys, we are getting back to Carla Pace. Carla. Yeah, I'm gonna call you tomorrow. We're gonna set some things up. First of all, I want Carla to do a show here on Listener's Choice. And then we're gonna do a listening party with Carla and all her music over at the Griot this summer. How's that? We're gonna make some things happen in the Motor City. Shout out to everybody down in Columbus, Ohio. Thank you for checking in. Ivy Hunter. Hey, Ivy. Hey, Ivy, I just spoke with Carla. Might have another act. Tonight on the decks, on the ones and twos, and behind the mic, my man Kurt Schmidt. Get it, Kurt. Get to stick around. Coming up at 9 o'clock, I'm doing a tribute to Mr. Roy Ayers. And then following me at 10 o'clock, Gene Edwards does a tribute to Roy Ayers. Now, I got a question. For everybody who's listening around the world, do me a favor. If you're loving Kurt's set tonight, everybody type in, if you're loving it, just say loving it. That's all I want to see. I should be able to look down this list and see everybody hitting it saying loving it. If you loving Kurt's set tonight, just type in loving it. Yes. Yes, John. Are you loving it tonight? If you loving Kurt's set, just type in loving it. I love his blend of jazz and funk. Carla saying loving it. If you're loving it, type in loving it. Kurt, you're a star. Woo. Everybody's loving it. In caps, no doubt. Saturday night's WJZD Radio, your man Don Allen. I'm just hosting Kurt's doing all the work. Kurt, they are still typing in loving it. I just wanted you to know that. Oh, we got a few amazings too. They are still typing in loving it. Y'all don't love to rise and grind this much. Wait a minute. If memory serves, that is my girl Althea, is it not? Come on. The Jan says, I keep having to walk away momentarily, but I'm loving it. And Dawn, she says she's got a split screen going between Facebook and YouTube, and she for all the comments. Phyllis is loving this set. Are you loving the music tonight? All put together by Mr. Kurt Schmidt. Your turn is coming up. If you want to do this just like Kurt is doing, you heard his voice, you're hearing his music, his playlist, that is. Reach out to us, wjzdradio@gmail.com. Alvin and I will make sure it happens for you. We want you to be a star. We're just having fun, sharing the music, sharing the love, and bringing a bunch of wonderful people together, musically speaking, that is. Yeah, that's a good question. Alvin says, Kurt, who are you passing the mic to? Who do you want to hear, Kurt? Who do you want to hear do a show on Listener's Choice? See, Jazz, I'm waiting. Who do you want to do it? Vaughn Best Keith, how are you doing? And Phyllis Bedford, good evening, welcome to, are you jamming with us, baby? Welcome to WJZD Radio. Kurt says Althea and Jesse Thompson. He is passing the mic to you. Your chance is coming up. Althea and Jesse Thompson, get in touch with us at wjzdradio@gmail. And we're going to hear from you next. Sylvia Lee. Kurt says Sylvia Lee is from the D. Take the mic, Sylvia. Sylvia Lee, get in touch with me. WJZDradio@gmail.com.
This is WJZD Radio Detroit's Listener's Choice, and I'm Kurt Schmidt. That last song was Jesse J.T. Thompson performing Weekend Groove, which features Detroit's own Althea Renee on flute. And that leads us to our final segment, starring many of Detroit's finest musicians. These include Randy Scott and Anisha Burchett on the first tune, Lynn Roundtree with Tim Bowman, followed by Beth Griffith Manley, and closing out the show, Demetrius Neighbors with Gary Johnson, Robert Skinner, Jeff Bonders, and Nate Wynn.
And the beat goes on. We're passing the mic to Emmanuel Idau next week. And Sylvia, you're coming up right after that, I hope. We've got two other people in front of that. But Sylvia, your chance is coming up. Reach out to us at WJZDradio@gmail. Next week, Emmanuel Idau. We want all of you guys to join us. This Emmanuel has dug up a uniquely smooth set next week.
Been praying for that perfect heart for me.
In the meantime,
Just can't let
be on the lookout for Smoke Jones, Carla Pace. I'm getting Lynn Roundtree to sit down and do a set too. And if we can slow Randy Scott down, we're going to get him to do one. Sylvia says she's ready. I see the thumbs up, Sylvia. I told you guys, I said it this morning on the morning show, Kurt was no joke. Let me tell y'all something. To come behind Kurt next Saturday after listening to this, you got your work cut out. That's all. I'm glad I don't have to play. I can put somebody else on. Doing the morning show is hard enough for me. Don't forget, stick around. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to do an hour of Roy Ayers. Matter of fact, I'm going to do an hour, and Gene Edwards is going to do an hour.
Praying for that perfect heart for me. I can't let this be. Some way, somehow, there must be a different ending.
Now, Kurt says Anisha and her sister are quite a unique songwriting duo. Is that a fact, Kurt? Yep, Sandy D. Sandy D is coming up. Denise Walters. Oh, you like the dining room? You guys got to come over for dinner. You know, I can right now. If I go overboard, we can all have eggs. Eggs and water, okay? You've been checking out the musical stylings of Kurt Schmidt. Kurt, you have nailed it to the wall. I just want to tell you that, man. You have nailed it to the wall. Next week, we'll have Emmanuel Idawu as we pass the mic to him and check out his choice. One of our top-notch listeners. Emmanuel Idawu is going to be amazing. We've got two ladies coming up after that. Hopefully by then I'll be through mixing Dawn's show. Y'all know I had to do my woman show. Come on, don't be acting all sideways at me. You know. I'm trying to finish so I can tell you what I'm reading. Phyllis says, Don, I know you can squeeze out a mimosa to go with those eggs. You know, if times get tough, y'all gonna see me over there on Woodward and Sigma. I got that ab dozen. It's extra if you want them boiled. Kurt, thank you so much. You have done simply an amazing job. Everybody tell Kurt how much y'all love this show. Just type in loving it. Go with that first 1,000 that came in. Denise Walters. Y'all silly. Don't forget, coming up at the top of the hour, a tribute to Roy Ayers. 2 hours long, 120 minutes. Commercial free, okay? I ain't messing with Denise no more. Or you either, Phyllis. Kurt, I just got to tell you, it's been a pleasure and a privilege to hang out with you as we share some music with the United States and around the world. We sincerely hope that you guys have enjoyed our time. This is Listener's Choice. It's our version of Pass the Mic. Emmanuel Idawu will be up next Saturday night at 8 p.m. I'll be right here behind the mic with him. Kurt, you did an amazing job. You knocked it out of the park. So far, everybody has come. Then again, if y'all come in here and y'all not doing right, I'm going to talk about you. But so far, since we began doing this, everybody has been freaking amazing. Oh yeah, and I've got DJ Coltrane coming in. He is going to do a set. Dr. G, if you're still listening, I know you're going to want to do a set. I'm going to see if I can get both my brothers, my biological brothers, to do sets. Diane Reed, Diane Barnes. I'm telling you guys, give Kurt some love. Show him some love. Everybody put it together for him. I mean, he did the damn thing. And I'm going to tell you guys, incidentally, the next show next jazz festival that I do that all of you guys come to, I'm going to have everybody who did a Pass the Mic, everybody stand up. I'm going to have you, and we will acknowledge you guys in the audience for the next show I do. You come out, stand up. We're going to show you some love that way as well, okay? I think that'll be really cool. We can get 30, 40 people stand up in the audience. I'm like, damn. I think that's a great idea. Much love to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for checking us out. Stay with us. 120 minutes of Roy Ayers. It must sound so good up in heaven right now. Because when you look back and you think about, I mean, you got Luther up there, you got Marvin Gaye up there. All the Four Tops are up there. You got Phyllis Hyman up there. You got Aretha up there. You got Quincy Jones directing everybody. Michael Jackson and Prince is up there too. I mean, think about it. How amazing heaven must sound. Alvin says, no stress, no strife, just sharing love and good music. That's what we do. Me and Alvin are like symbionts. We're like twins. We're both bald. Nicole Case, thanks for coming. This is Kurt setting out. Thank yous for coming out, Cynthia Butler. Shout out to my man Delmar from me and Alvin. And you when you don't see me with Dawn, odds are I'm with Delmar. we ain't gonna cause no problems. We too old for that crap. Got 3 more minutes? Okay. This is the last song of this set. We'll see you next weekend, same time, Saturday night, 8 p.m. Emmanuel Idawu we are passing the mic to him. It's going to be amazing. Stay tuned. The next 120 minutes, I'm going to be with you for a little while. I ain't going to lie. I'm not going to stick around here another 102 hours with y'all. 120 minutes. I'm old. I hate that. Did you guys have fun? Fawn says she loves this. Thank you, Fawn. Now, if you guys want to keep it going, I need you guys to participate. Hit me up at wjzdradio@gmail.com. Say, hey, Don, I want to get involved. And me and Alvin will connect with you. We will show you how to do it. It's a lot of fun. It's very easy. And you will be a radio star. I'll see you on the other side of the top of the hour with Roy Ayers. Angie BCS 14. Kurt is so glad you enjoyed it. I'm telling you, Kurt did. Everybody. Kurt he just nailed the weekend. I told y'all it was a rough week, but we were going to make it better, didn't I? I told you that. I couldn't have done it without Alvin. I couldn't have done it without Kurt. And I couldn't have done it without you. Yeah, you. Now stick around. In about 2 minutes, about 2 minutes, we're ready to hit hard in the paint. All Roy Ayers for the next 120 minutes. Let's do it. And remember to make each and every day count. We are WJZDRadioDetroit.com. I'll see you on the other side of the top of the hour.
You've heard Now Listen.
It's going on.
WJZD Radio, Detroit.com.
And the beat goes on. We got to thank Kurt Schmidt. We got to thank Alvin White. We got to thank all of you guys who helped Pass the Mic, our version of Pass the Mic. Listener's Choice become a success it is snowballing into. And your chance is coming up. All you got to do is reach out to us at WJZDradio@gmail.com and say, hey, this is Bob, and hey, this is Sue. I want to do it. How do I get involved? And we will connect with you. Now, my name is Don Allen. This hour, all Roy Ayers. Next hour, all Roy Ayers. Kicking it off with one of the songs that I first heard from Roy Ayers. Believe it or not, before I heard Everybody Loves the Sunshine, I heard this one, Running Away. And there was another one that I heard from Roy Ayers, and I'm going to play that one right behind this one. And I ain't going to lie to y'all, I'm not going to be here all hours. That's not going to happen. Okay? Angie, what's going on? Welcome to the Saturday night Artist in Residence. Tonight it is Roy Ayers. Rest in paradise, rest in power, Mr. Roy Ayers. He taught it what it was like to enjoy the sunshine. We don't love each other like we used to. We really don't. This is how we pay tribute to the musical genius of Roy Ayers. Now, if you also have someone you'd like to see our artist in residence, just hit us up. Hey, Selena, who would you like to see an artist in residence? Now, I'm gonna be honest and frank with you guys. Some of you guys email me and say, Don, can you play such and such artist? And they got one hit. And I won't do it. I won't play an artist with one hit because that means I got to play 55 minutes worth of B-side stuff, and y'all know the majority of my listeners don't know it. So if y'all gonna give me somebody with some music, with a library. I'm just being honest. Shout out to Kyle and Brian Foley. You first heard Roy and Ubiquity at their house? Really? At Brian Foley? Over in Ipsy? Alvin, are you serious? Wow. Brian, shout out to Brian Foley. He is recovering. I believe he is in therapy now. Wishing him all the best. That's my partner in crime at the Johnny Lawrence Summer Jazz Series. And I got to share something with you guys. I really do. Because Rosetta told me, Don, whatever you do, don't quit. Because a lot of people still don't understand and know who these artists truly are. And these are old songs. Yeah, you and I both know that. But a lot of these kids need to understand and know from where this music comes. I mean, we all can say that we'll listen to a Mary J. Blige song, and then you hear a really old classic jazz song, and they say, who is that biting from Mary J. Blige? Loud, no, fool, this was out before Mary was born. You know what I'm saying? So we have to share this music. We have to, exchange this music. What's going on, Richard? We are exploring, honoring the legacy that was Roy Ayers this hour and next hour. But we have to. I was having this conversation with Gerard Gibbs last night. And we were talking about, are you on the night shift, man? Don't worry, we got you. We were talking about different artists. Artists like Brian Culbertson, who has achieved rock star status and well-deserved. But there are so many other mega superstar keyboardists like Brian, like Gerard. Gerard Gibbs is one of the finest keyboardists on various keyboards. I'm talking Hammond organ, Yamaha, whatever the hell else they do. He's the only one I've ever heard make a keyboard actually say words, okay? If you get a chance, go check out Gerard and Ralph Armstrong and Galen McKinney over at Baker's Friday and Saturday nights. Oh, yeah, TV Lounge time is coming. I got to get in touch with Tree, see if they want to. We were doing, was it Thursday nights at TV Lounge out on the patio, and I was there playing all the jazz, and all we had was cigar smokers and people eating. It was cool. Vince Mo, what's up? Now, I believe I heard this record. This is called Running Away by Roy Ayers. Or a Monday night spot. Okay, yeah, you're right. The very next record from Roy Ayers was the very first record that I heard by Roy Ayers that I understood who it was. Oh, it was on Mondays. Thank you, Vince. It was Monday nights that we were doing Monday Night Jazz at TV Lounge. We had a blast. Hope we do it again. It's up to Tree. It's not up to me. If he call, I'm coming. Because I got a lot more music. We're paying tribute to Roy Ayers this hour. Now, this song coming up was this first song that I heard from by Roy Ayers. And I heard it at U of D. And the dance had just come out. And I actually saw the dance done while this record was playing before Foxy came out with Get Off. The dance was called The Freak. And this was Freaky Deaky from Roy Ayers. And you remember this? I remember exactly where I was when I first heard this song. I was in the ballroom at U of D over on Livernois and 6 Mile because I had to DJ that night. And one of my partners had this song. played this, and they got out there and was doing the freak before Foxy came out. Do you remember this one? Wait a minute, Angie said, I was probably there. 9 times out of 10. See, I'm glad I wasn't the only one that remembered this song. Thank you, Angie. You old school if you knew. This is back when couples actually danced. A guy would grab a girl's hand and lead it to the dance floor, and it was on and popping, baby. When this record came on, you had sweat running down your forehead. You had that ugly, serious look on your face, like. You know what I'm talking about. You didn't care, you was sweating, but you was feeling good, and you was partying. It was BYOB. You had to go buy a bucket of ice and some chicken wings. And the party was on and popping. Shout out to everybody remember those BYOB parties. Don't act like y'all brand new. You come in with a big brown paper bag, got some Bacardi, some Bohawk vodka. And see, we were upscale. We were drinking Remy Martin. I'm sorry. We started off with Remy and Coke, and we graduated straight up Remy BSOP, baby. Shout out to everybody who had a bottle of Cold Duck. Or some pink champagne, you know. Y'all better not act like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Because if you do, I'm going to call you out. I will tell people that you were there with me. Okay? Yeah, you. And them folks down in Atlanta, hell, half y'all from Detroit. So, you know, y'all know what's going on. Hanging out at Henry's Lounge. The Flaming Spear, or whatever it was. Down at Detroit Studio 54. At the Sentinel Center on Jefferson and Shane. Y'all know what I'm saying. At the Lady. At the Orchid. Come on. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, look at him talking about it now. You remember those days, go in with hair perfectly curled, leave with an afro. Okay, I got one for you. Here we go. Because see, right after that fast stuff went on, everybody was going back to their table. And when the brother wanted to talk to that one girl, he grabbed her by the hand. Said, come on.
Darling, you.
And if she was feeling that vibe, she was like, okay. Both of y'all sweating, didn't care.
I know.
See, Roy Roy provided the musical backdrop for relationships, some of which may still be together.
You send me,
But it definitely planted some seeds for you.
darling,
Y'all know what I'm talking about? Do you remember those times?
honest you do.
I remember the Sentinel Center. I'm not gonna lie. Hell, half those parties I was DJing. If Keith McAllister was here, he'd tell you about it. Because he was giving most of the parties. Shout out to everybody to remember the Gentlemen of GQ in Detroit. Every city had those. Those groups had like Fun Time Society, Plush, my man Boogie, God rest his soul. Cheryl Baldwin Taylor, good evening. Welcome to our tribute to Roy Ayers. Coming up, we got the Spirit of Doo-Doo, Program for Love, Funk in the Hole, Look to the Sky, The Memory, and of course, Everybody Loves the Sunshine. And if that wasn't good, coming up next hour, Gene Edwards got this another hour of Roy Ayers. Ooh, not the day workers in DAB Hall. See, Fawn and I was hanging out the same place. We just didn't meet. Y'all remember when you just kind of rocked and you had her hand right there, and y'all both had that little. Y'all wasn't even dancing. Y'all just rocking. You know what I'm saying? Eyes closed. See if I don't remember what I'm talking about. And then when you slow dance and you get that real, it feels good to you, then you freeze. And then you spin it off. Y'all remember what I'm talking about. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, you had a boring childhood. Come on.
I thought it was infatuation.
See, Dawn and I was actually, we knew each other way back then. I caught Dawn at the Climax 2, okay, over there off of Jefferson. I had on leather pants and a perm. You know?
Long.
I did. And she actually has a picture of us together with me wearing some leather pants and a perm at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Care for you.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Carry you.
See, this song laid the musical backdrop for a lot of our youth in our younger days. You don't know nothing about Scruples. Fawn, you better quit it. My boy was the DJ at Scruples. Come on. Angie, how are you this evening? We are paying tribute to Roy. And hell no, I'm not going to be on till what? 11 o'clock at night. I'm going to take this glass of wine, might go out and get another one, and I'm going to enjoy some television with my baby. Do you remember? Ladies, do you remember when he used to hold you tight and he used to just send you there? I know the fellas did. Y'all remember it. Y'all just don't want to admit it. Fellas, y'all remember it because you was limping off the floor. Trying not to let anyone see. Do you remember what I'm talking about? I am not the only one that limped off the damn floor. Come on. Angie knows what I'm talking about. Fawn knows what I'm talking about. I know Dawn knows damn sure know what I'm talking about. It's Saturday night. Our artist in residence tonight, Mr. Roy Ayers, the late great. You know what? I think next week we're gonna have to do some Barry White. Barry has some. They say when Barry was on the air, when his records were playing, more babies were conceived with Barry White than anybody else. That is a fact. That was like on Jeopardy, I think. Listen, guys, I'm getting ready to get out of here. When I cut the camera off, your music might stop, but it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to stop. All you got to do is go to the website, WJZDRadioDetroit.com, and press the play button. If you have the app, just go to your phone and go to, push the app. We're also on TuneIn. We're on the online Radio Box app, Streamer. There's a million ways to hear this radio station. We stream 24 hours a day. So if you can't find us, you didn't try. Angie and Paul are cracking me up. It's been my pleasure, my privilege to be with you. I'll see you next Saturday night for our version of Pass the Mic. We call it Listener's Choice. Emmanuel Idawu will be on the decks and the microphone. I'll just be kind of helping them along. Big shout out to Kyle Foley, Big K, listening in tonight. Thank you so much, Kyle Foley. You tell Brian I tell what up, though, and have him give me a call. I'm so glad you guys, if you enjoyed the night, join us next weekend. You can join me generally in the mornings, 9 o'clock in the morning, on the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Kyle Lamont has you in the afternoon. Maurizio D'Aduzio has you at 12 noon. Mellow Mike has you from 8 until 10, 10 till midnight. It's Gene Edwards, who will be up next at 10 o'clock. J Square takes you into the night. And O'Neal Stevens has you early in the morning, 6 o'clock. And we only do it because you send us, because you send me. Thank you so much for listening in. Hope you enjoyed what you heard. And remember to make each and every day count. We are WJZDRadioDetroit.com. Thanks for watching. And be sure and just go to the website and listen in. We're going to jam on.